What's up, everyone? So this is my first video on UFC predictions. I'm a big fan of UFC. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I am at ThickTeddy and at Teddy_bets. I do stock trading for a living, but I love watching UFC, and I've been betting for about 4 years now on UFC. And kind of my style or strategy of betting is the overs and unders, which are really easy for me. They've kind of been my best hittable plays, and then just straight money lines most of the time. I don't do a lot of props. I'm not really a prop bettor. I know a lot of people who make a ton of money, but I've never been able to get a streak going or anything. So I'm gonna kind of go through UFC 266, give my predictions. It's something I like to talk about, so I figured I'd just start to make videos. If you know from the Halt, Ant and I both really like UFC, so it's something we talk about on the podcast, but we're going to start to make kind of these more separate videos for big events, but I'm hyped for this one. This one is awesome. Good fights from the top to the bottom. There's a few prospects that I'm really interested in seeing how they play out. And the top fight, the top 3 fights, the top 4 fights, the top 5 fights are all pretty damn good. The top 7 fights are all like certified bangers. So I'm going to go over my predictions, what I'm probably going to be betting on. Feel free to tail me. Feel free to go against me and fade me. But it is what it is. So first off, we have the main event of the evening, which is Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega. And I feel like the thing I have to bring up here is Volkanovski's fights with Max Holloway and Brian Ortega's fights with Max Holloway. MMA math doesn't really work, but we saw Volk's striking was just on a different level than Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway. Brian's striking in that fight. And we can talk about, after that I'll talk about Brian Ortega's last fight, but Volk showed that he can survive Max Holloway's best shots, and he can return pretty good fire, pretty good leg kicks in the first fight. The second fight he used a little wrestling, but it was kind of one of those things where Volk showed that he's a elite striker, and we've always known that his wrestling is pretty dang good, and we've always known he's strong for the weight class. He has a brick shithouse of a head. His head is just massive, and if he gets hit, it might stun him for a second, but he recovers pretty quick too. And we all know that this man used to be over 200 pounds and played rugby. So that's that on Volk. And Brian Ortega, we know that he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner first, and after that he's been developing his striking. And he's also had a lot of come from behind victories, particularly before the Max Holloway fight, but his last fight was a completely different showing. He landed a spinning back elbow on the Korean Zombie really early in the fight. I don't think the Zombie ever recovered. Maybe later in the fight he recovered, but that first few rounds, Brian Ortega just pieced him up, and then he continued piecing him up for the rest of the fight. So yeah, Brian's striking was just different in that fight than we've ever seen him. But I think Alexander Volkanovski's striking is just a complete different level. Let me find the odds for this. I have it on my phone over here. So I think Ortega to win has to do one of two things. He needs to either sync up that guillotine, which I'm a really big believer that guillotines at high level MMA is not going to cut it. We don't see many guillotine victories at the championship level, and I think Volkanovski also has had an entire camp to train getting out of a guillotine, and also train being able to switch to that opposite side, pop his head out, or even just relieve the pressure long enough to where Ortega's arms are gonna get bodied up. But here's the thing that I think is the biggest difference is I don't think Ortega can take Volk down, and I think he's gonna have to. So I think Brian Ortega, I don't think he can strike with Volk. I think Volk will just pick him apart at distance. And I think Ortega will have to get him to the mats somehow and work that BJJ if he wants to win. And I don't think he's going to be able to. I think this one is one of my locks. The odds are right now we got Volk at -175, Brian Ortega at +150. And I think Volkanovski outperforms that -175 price tag. So I'm going to be betting straight up on Alexander Volkanovski. Probably have 2 units on it, 3 units on it. Looking for a return of 2 units. But I think he's going to be able to outpoint him easily, and I don't think Brian's going to be able to get him to the mat. I don't think Brian is going to be able to hold him down, even if he does get him to the mat. So yeah, I think Volkanovski, technical striker, really, really underrated as a champ as well. Okay, so second up, we have the co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko and Lauren Murphy. And I'll play devil's advocate for a second, but I'm picking Valentina Shevchenko just off the bat. So if you want to skip this, feel free to skip this because she's probably one of the best women's mixed martial artists ever to live. But Lauren Murphy, I think there is a world where she can kind of implement a Jennifer Maia game plan where she pushes her up against the fence for a round, 2 rounds, maybe even gets a takedown, maybe. But I just don't see it happening. Like, we're talking like if they fought 100 times, Lauren Murphy would be able to implement that game plan maybe one fight out of 100 that I think she could grind her for 3 out of the 5 rounds and avoid getting knocked out or choked out those other 2. That's just maybe even less than 1. Maybe we're talking 1 in 1,000. I'm not really sure. But I don't see a world where on Saturday night Valentina Shevchenko doesn't come out. And I think she gets a slow start. I think she might even get pushed up against the cage for a few minutes, maybe even get taken down for like a minute. But she's going to get up. She's going to work that ground game of hers to get up. And then she's going to pick apart Lauren Murphy on the feet. She'll probably pick apart Lauren Murphy in the clinch as long as she's not the one getting pushed against the cage. I think Murphy's pretty strong. She's pretty tough. But I think Valentina Shevchenko will probably have her way easily. I don't know if I would bet the under because I've seen Lauren Murphy. She's taken some beatings and she's survived. We're talking Valentina Shevchenko, who's on a different level. So it's kind of up in the air on whether I would bet that. I'm not betting Shevchenko. I might bet Shevchenko if I decide between decision and inside the distance. I'm leaning inside the distance. So I might take Shevchenko inside the distance. I think it's minus 250. I might take some of that, but as of right now, I don't want to lock any of that in. So yeah, Shevchenko is the side to be on there for sure. All right. We have kind of the people's main event, a 5-rounder non-title fight. Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler. People are super excited for Nick Diaz to come back. Robbie Lawler's at the end of his road here. The last time these two guys fought was, I want to say like 17 years ago, I think. And Robbie Lawler, inside of the last time Nick Diaz fought, which was 6 years ago, Robbie Lawler has won a championship, lost his championship, fought the top of the competition over and over and over and over. And Nick Diaz has been getting high, getting drunk, doing interviews where he sounds like he doesn't know where he's at, that kind of stuff, which concerns me. And then a video came out yesterday of Nick Diaz shadow boxing, and I got even more concerned. His hands look slow. Look like I don't know. I get that guys will do that. Guys will just like not be on their game when they're shadow boxing and stuff. But he just looked slow. He looked old. His hair was balding, which Robbie Lawler is fully bald. But he just looked like he was his body composition was decent, but we know Robbie Lawler is going to be shredded. So the body comp is going to be a little bit different most likely. Nick Diaz, if he can come out and touch up Robbie or implement a wrestling game plan, then I think that's going to be his path to victory. But I think Robbie can also piece him up from distance as well or land, a kill blow. We haven't seen Nick Diaz. I don't know if he's been knocked out before. I would assume he's a Diaz brother. So probably not. But I don't have those stats up right now. But I know that Nick he's legendary on his durability, and I think Robbie Lawler, if this 6 years has caused enough layoff for Robbie to crack that would be insane. And I think Robbie's the side here. He's let me go look. He is a minus 135 at the moment. Nick Diaz plus 115. That's shifted a little bit. I know Robbie opened at minus 200, and then a bunch of money came in on Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz army flocked. But I think Robbie is the side to be on if you're going to bet. I won't be betting this at all. I'm going to be sitting back, enjoying Nick Diaz return, enjoying Nick Diaz, get pieced up or piece up Robbie Lawler. Enjoy. Hopefully he showboats a little bit for the crowd. But that's what I'm going to be doing. All right. Curtis Blades and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. This one is pretty cut and dry. It doesn't really get much easier for a breakdown here. Jairzinho needs to land that Derek Lewis counter to his takedown or just land a big shot while they're on the feet. And Curtis Blaydes needs to either push him against the cage and get him down, or get him down in open space. So I personally think that Curtis Blaydes wins this fight 80-90% of the time. The price tag is Curtis Blaydes minus 310. I'm comfortable with that. I don't love it. I think it's right around where it should be, to be honest. But I think Curtis Blaydes, his wrestling's too slick. He can chain wrestle at heavyweight, which there's no other heavyweights that I can think of that can chain wrestle that well. And his hands are coming along really nice, and we've seen Jairzinho look for that perfect shot. Curtis Blaydes is not going to give you the space for that perfect shot. I mean, unless you're Derek Lewis and you just don't even need the space, and when he's shooting on you, you can just time a perfect uppercut. But I don't think Jairzinho is that guy. He's not that guy. You're not that guy, pal, Jairzinho. He has the death touch. He has the big heavyweight power that we always talk about. He has the massive puncher's chance in every fight he's in. Hell, we saw it against Alistair Overeem. He was losing, 4 rounds in 4 minutes and 55 seconds, and lands one punch and bam, knocks his lip off his freaking face. And I think Curtis Blaydes gets it done though. I think he takes him down. He might even be able to, ground and pound, but I don't know if I think Curtis Blaydes' ground and pound is good enough to take out Jairzinho. Jairzinho has proven to be pretty durable, so I think Curtis Blaydes probably by decision, but Curtis Blaydes minus 310 is a good parlay piece. All right, this is a banger, this next one. Jessica Andrade versus Cynthia Calvillo, another really just binary fight. Calvillo has to get her to the mat and hold her there, or Andrade is going to throw power shots on the feet. Pretty similar to Jairzinho, Rozenstruik, and Curtis Blaydes, but the difference here is Jessica Andrade is not a fish out of water on the ground. Granted, she looked like one in her last fight against Valentina Shevchenko, but she's not a fish out of water on the ground. I think Andrade can absolutely rock the living shit out of Cynthia Calvillo on the feet. And if she doesn't rock the living shit out of her, she's just going to outstrike her. She's more technical. She's better on the feet, and Calvillo has had decent success sometimes on the feet, but it's like up and down. It's like kind of trying to bet on a fighter who you don't know what you're going to get. It's kind of like Ortega. Like, you don't know what you're going to get this next fight, because we saw, like, striking Ortega last fight. We've seen, wrestling Ortega. We've seen jiu-jitsu Ortega. We've seen guillotine third round to win the fight when he lost the first 2 rounds Ortega. So I think that's what you get with Cynthia Calvillo. She's a little up and down. She's also 35, which I don't like that. I think Andrade is, a younger fighter. She's more powerful, and I mean, Andrade relies on her power a crazy amount. She's technical, but not as much as she is powerful. So I think she's going to. I could see her getting it done inside the distance. I could also just see her landing nice shots all fight, and then she'll probably get taken down once or twice, but she's strong. She's gonna get back up. She got a good get up game, except for against Valentina Shevchenko. I know. So yeah, I think Andrade. Let's see the Jessica Andrade. Minus 270. That's another parlay piece I feel comfortable with. Curtis Blaydes. That's pretty good. Honestly though, I'm more, more confident in Volkanovski than I am Curtis Blaydes or Jessica Andrade. So, take that for what you wish. I think Volk should be a minus 250. I really do. And I think Curtis Blaydes should be a minus 250 as well. But for some reason, my gut is telling me Volk is the better side. And I think Andrade should not be a minus 270. She should be like minus 225, something like that. But, it is what it is, and sometimes you got to pay the price for the confident plays. But Volk, I'm really confident in. All right. So we have I think this is the first fight of the prelims we're going to be going over. It's the main prelim fight. Marlon Moraes versus Merab Dvalishvili, the Machine. So the only way I can describe this is Moraes knocks him out in the first round, maybe 2 minutes into the second round, he has that, or Merab just overpowers and takes him over. He's probably going to get him to the ground early, and he's going to get him to the ground often. There is let me see what Moraes round 1 is. Method of victory. Now I got to go to rounds. All right, so Marlon Moraes round 1 is plus 900. I don't do props, so I won't be betting on that. But if you ever felt the need to fade your Merab Dvalishvili fight, you get a bad feeling, or you just don't want to take an L on something, that would be where I would go. Round 1 or round 2, or just inside the distance. I think that's, Marlon Moraes by TKO or KO is plus 600. So that might be one you go to if you get to that point in the card and you're not feeling Merab anymore. But Merab is a minus 260 favorite for a really good reason. He's going to take you down again. And if he gets stuffed, he's going to back up, land a few shots, take you down again, and take you down again. And what are you going to do when you get taken down that many times? You're going to get so tired that you probably poop inside of your pants. Like, you're going to be so tired that you can't even control your butthole anymore. And what does Marlon Moraes do? He gets so tired that he cannot control his butthole anymore. He gets so absolutely tired for no reason after, 5 minutes of fighting. And he's fought 5-rounders in the past. He fought quite a few. But, I mean, he just gets so tired. He's got knocked out in his last 2, if I remember right. And he gets so tired. And Merab, he's the machine. He doesn't stop. He doesn't slow down. He's going to keep coming. So Merab is the right side to be on here. I'm not paying minus 260 on something that I do think Marlon could knock him out on. We've never seen... I don't know. Let's go look at Merab's losses real quick. Merab, he has 4 losses. So he got guillotined, split decision. I got 2 more to look through here. Decision. So yeah, he has never been knocked out. But Marlon Moraes does have fast twitch muscles that can put anyone down. So let me get back here to my... here we go. So yeah, I think Marlon inside the distance plus 600 is not a bad bet to be on, just due to the price. If it was plus 200, plus 300, plus 400, I would not be interested at all, because I think Merab wins this fight 7, 8 times out of 10, probably 8 at least 8. I'm going to stay with 8. So I think Merab wins this 8 out of 10 times. So he is the rightful side to be on, but Marlon does have the best, I think, puncher's chance. I think he has a better puncher's chance than Jairzinho Rozenstruik over Curtis Blades, for sure. So Marlon, you could take a flyer on. I might do that myself. I'm interested in it for plus 600, but Merab is a machine, like his nickname. He's a machine. So you don't like to bet against machines. I'm a wrestler from the past. I don't like to bet against guys who grind you into the mat. Just like Curtis Blades, I don't want to bet against you. Or bet against him. He's got some of the best wrestling in the heavyweight division, and he's a grinder, just like Merab. Merab's a grinder. His striking's getting a little better. Still a little suspect in moments, but it's getting better. So let's see what he can do against Marlon. I don't know. We'll see what I bet after the weigh-ins. If Marlon looks great, it looks like he's recharged from those knockouts, maybe I'll take a Marlon flyer. But if not, I don't feel good betting Merab in my parlays, so I won't add him. But yeah, I think Merab is the right side. So moving on, we have a fight that we don't know if it's going to happen, but it is a fun fight that I really hope happens. It is Dan Hooker and Nasrat Haqparast. I don't know how to say it, although I hear people say it all the time because they talk about this guy, about being the next big thing, mini Gastelum, that kind of stuff. So, oh wow, that's some movement. I didn't look at the odds yet today, but Dan Hooker's a minus 150. Nasrat is a plus 125. Last time I looked, Dan was a minus 170. So here's the deal. Earlier in this week, I was not interested in betting Dan Hooker because of his visa issues, but now we found out Nasrat has visa issues too, and sadly his mom passed away, which that's absolutely horrible. I'm sorry, Nasrat. I'm sorry for your loss. Horrible thing. But that might impact him in the fight. It might make him absolute warrior, come out here on a different level, or it could make him heavy heart, feeling a little bit heavy during the weight cut, feeling like he's not motivated for it because something like that just happened. So I am looking to bet Dan Hooker. I think since they both have the visa issues, if this fight does happen, minus 150 on Dan Hooker against Nasrat, who this is a huge step up for him, I think is absolutely nuts. I think Dan Hooker should be a minus 210 at the minimum. Dan Hooker, people are forgetting how good this guy is, how technical he is, and he comes from a gym where they're going to find any holes in Nasrat's game, and Dan Hooker is going to exploit them. And I think that's what he's going to do. I think if he comes and the weigh-ins go well, which we'll see, and if Nasrat can get here too, and the weigh-ins go well for him, and the fight stays on, whatever it is, I think Dan Hooker will either knock him out or will simply just piece him up the entire fight. I don't see this one being anywhere near the minus 150 price tag, and I think people who bet on Dan Hooker are going to look like geniuses down the line. Have I taken an underdog yet? No, I haven't, but that's not. I guess that's just this fight because I bet underdogs probably half the time in my on my account. Just because there's a lot of dog or pass situations. Just like I said, Marlon Moraes, that's a dog or pass for me, I guess. So I guess I did take a dog, even though I don't think he's going to win. I took him because of the price. He's the dog or pass price tag that I really, really like for that inside the distance. Even though I think Rob is going to win, the price versus the probability that it happens, in my opinion, is worth it. Okay, moving on. We have Shamil Abdurakhimov, an Ov, Russian Ov, so, wrestling, that's what he's going to try to do, most likely, but he's got heavy hands as well, versus Chris Daukaus, the police officer. The issue with this fight is Chris Daukaus has gotten out. His name has gotten out. I was on him pretty heavy in his past fights because I think, and I was also on him round one in a couple of them, but I think Chris Daukaus is someone who's going to beat all of these lower echelon gatekeepers, and then he's going to get to names like Jairzinho Rozenstruik, who I consider kind of a upper echelon gatekeeper, and that's when we're going to see the real test. But for now, Chris Daukaus runs through Shamil Abdurakhimov. I think he's too fast. His combinations are pretty hardcore. They're pretty powerful, fast, and they're technical, and he talks big jiu-jitsu game. So I would like to see Shamil get him down at least once, even though I'm going to have a bet on Chris Daukaus. I want to see Shamil get him down just so we can see Chris do the thing he's been talking so hard about. Chris Daukaus is a minus 195 right now. I did see somewhere on Twitter someone posted that the last time this fight was lined, Chris Daukaus closed at a minus 200, and then the odds makers relined it for this fight at Chris Daukaus opened at minus 150. That is slightly concerning, as that screams of just like a trap bet, or someone is going to ruin all of your parlays. So that's probably the reason I won't put him in the parlays, even though I'm pretty confident in him. Something feels fishy there, but I will bet him straight up, a couple of units on him. I don't know if he gets it done in the first, or in the second, or in the third. I don't really feel comfortable betting that due to this being a step up. It is a step up for him, so I don't really feel comfortable betting under or over, for a matter of fact. So I'm just betting Chris Daukaus straight up money line minus 195. If I can get a dip in that, maybe minus 190, minus 185, that'd be nice. But we'll see. All right. So next up, we have the underdog queen, Roxanne Modafferi, versus Taylor Santos. So Taylor Santos has had a resurgence, in my opinion. When she came into the UFC, there were some bad moments, and recently she's shown kind of a more well-rounded game with some nice striking in on it too. And Roxanne, the only thing that Roxanne can do in this fight, I think, is take her down and just lay on her the entire fight. Because Santos is explosive. She's powerful on the feet. She also has pretty decent ground game. It's not great. It's not bad. I won't be placing a bet on this because I think Santos wins, and I think Roxanne is just enough of a competitor to keep it closer than I would want to bet, and possibly, she could squeak it out. Let me see what the odds are. So Roxanne is plus 320. Santos is minus 410. I don't feel comfortable betting either side at those prices. Roxanne, I don't think she gets this one done. I really don't, but I don't want to bet a minus 410. So that's that. Roxanne's got to wrestle her, got to hold her down. Santos is going to have to piece her up on the feet. All right, this one, probably one of my sleeper fights of the entire card. Uros Medic versus Jalen Turner. Let me go find the odds for this one because they've been kind of switching. So Uros Medic, minus 125. Jalen Turner, plus 105. So kind of the story of this one is Uros Medic knocks people out in the first round, and Jalen Turner gets knocked out. That's the story that is kind of the biggest, I guess, obvious storyline. Because if you go to Jalen Turner and you go to his 5 losses, let's look at them. So he got unanimous decision by Matt Frevola, KO'd by Vicente Luque, which, I mean, that does not age bad at all. KO'd by Richard Leroy. And let's go find the other one. He got KO'd by Ronnie Borgia, and then split decision versus Andrew Lagdan. So those are the biggest things that you can see off the bat. Is he's gotten KO'd 4 to 5 times, 3 times actually. So he's gotten KO'd 3 times, and that's concerning when you're fighting a guy with the amount of first round knockouts as Euros Medic. But the thing is that I want to kind of this is a tough fight for me to call in my head. He hasn't gotten knocked out in 4 fights. He's fought some guys who are known to, have decent power. So I want to say it's a dog or pass on Jalen Turner. And I know that I've said everything good for Euros Medic so far, so you're about to hear my Jalen Turner side. This man tall as fuck. This man can wrestle. This man has the cardio. So Jalen Turner's got some underrated ground game. If he can keep at a distance, that's the thing against Euros Medic. If he can keep a distance and extend this fight, Euros Medic fought on the Alaskan regional scene. He's like their, I don't know what it is, their number 1 boy. Back when McGregor's been around, the UFC has McGregor, Alaskan regional scene had Euros Medic. So they want to push him. UFC, he's a prospect. But this is a step up. This is quite the step up. Jalen Turner, he's tall. He's got a vicious ground game. He's shown he's gotten improved striking. So I think it's a dog or pass if Jalen Turner can extend him. I think this is definitely one of those places where Euros Medic first round finish. Let's see what the odds are on that. Euros Medic round 1 is plus 450. What about Euros Medic inside the distance? Euros Medic inside the distance, which I'm just going to do TKO, is plus 175. That's not a bad bet. Jalen Turner by decision or even late finish is not a bad decision either. But I would say Jalen Turner moneyline would be where I would bet. I haven't decided if I'm going to put anything on it. I want to see him at the weigh-ins, see how Euros Medic looks, knowing he's taking this big step up, because Jalen Turner's, he's a decent UFC fighter. He's not great by any means. He's not even good. He's not bad. He's not below average. He's average. He's just what you would say average. But he does have that massive size advantage. He's shown to be tougher in his last few fights than he did in the past. Yeah. All right. So we have, what is this? Nick Maximov versus Cody Bundage. Did, what's his name, pull out? I didn't even see that until now. I'm just going to skip that one for now because I didn't even analyze this beforehand. All right, so we have Matthew Selmsenberger and Martin Sanal. So I'm seeing everyone on Matthew Selmsenberger because Martin Sanal, his tape doesn't watch well. He also just doesn't look UFC caliber. He's taken 2 years off. He's part of the Nick Diaz army. He's got pictures with him. They hang out. And Matthew Selmsenberger is a UFC caliber fighter. So I'm seeing everyone on Matthew Selmsenberger. Semmelsberger? I don't know how to say it. But I'm not betting either side. I'm not taking a minus 490 on Matthew Selmsenberger. And I'm not taking a plus 370 on a guy who's obviously not a UFC talent. And he's obviously... I don't want to say he's here because of Nick Diaz, because if you're a fighter, you're a fighter, and everyone's got to respect that. But I think that definitely played a part in it. So I would say... Yeah, no bet for me. I don't even want to analyze it because it is what it is. It's a fight that I'm going to watch, and it's a fight that I'm probably going to feel stupid afterwards either way that I go. You know, it's one of those where you take the big favorite in your parlay, and then somehow Martin Sandow comes out and looks crazy different after those 2 years off, and Nick Diaz has been like mentoring him, and all of a sudden we have a mini Diaz. Or you take the underdog and then he looks like exactly what everyone thinks he looks like and is just booty hole on the UFC canvas, gets pounded his face into the ground, you know? One of those, like, I just feel like it's one where I'm not going to win. All right, and then we have the last fight of the card. So be ready for this one, ladies and gents. This is the last fight of the analysis. First fight of the card. And it's a good first fight. Jonathan Pierce versus Omar Moraes. Decent fight. I would not sleep on this one. It could be a good fight. Could be a banger. I think Pierce has got to take him down. I think Omar has got to keep it on the feet. That's about as simple as I can go. What are the odds on this one? Okay, so yeah, the odds on this one. Oh, jeez. Omar Moraes -150. Jonathan Pierce +125. Yeah, I think Omar Moraes probably gets it done. I think he does. I'd feel comfortable putting a little bit on him at -150. He's a machine. He's pretty good fighter. I don't have many comments on him. I didn't watch enough tape on him. But I do feel comfortable in this spot for some reason, which I'd probably need to go back and watch more. But I feel comfortable with him because he's got pretty good takedown defense as well. He's been comfortable on the ground before, not great, but I think he's comfortable enough. And I think Jonathan Pierce isn't going to be able to put him into too deep of waters down there. Okay, so just a second here. So yeah, so I think Omar Moraes wins that. But it's one that I'll put a little money on, but I'm not going to put like units on. I'll put half a unit, at -150, something like that. So I did see on here that Nick Maximov did get changed to Cody Brundage. I guess I've just been living under a rock. But the UFC wants Nick Maximov to win, and that's what I was going to say when he was fighting the other guy he was supposed to fight right before this, is they want him to win, and the other guy he was fighting obviously had no submission defense. So that's all I have to analyze that fight, is they want Maximov to win. I'm interested to go look at Cody Brundage. I know the name. I need to go back, watch his previous fights. Let's just go look at his real quick. Damn, dude's a unit just from his picture. So, yeah, he got TKO'd by William Knight, which, what does William Knight do? He jumps on top of you and wrestles you. He got a submission win. He got another submission win. Arm triangle choke. So this guy seems like a wrestler too. I need to go back and look. I don't want to sound like an idiot on here because I don't actually know what I'm talking about with what's his name? Cody Brundage. Yeah, I don't want to do any of that. So I'm just going to say that I think the UFC wants Nick Maximov to win. And they probably are giving him a matchup they think he can win, but I am going to go watch more tape, and I'll tweet about it on Teddy_bets. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys all for tuning in. It's really fun for me to talk about this kind of stuff, and it's even more fun for me to have something where I do get to talk about it, and then I get to come look at it later and see if I was right, see if I was wrong, see what I can do better next time, because I've been betting for a while. I don't know, I'm kind of weird in my strategy of betting, is I have the same amount of money. I don't ever make units more expensive. And then I just, you take my winnings, go pay my rent with it, or go, buy something that I want. And then I just have the same amount for the next card. I think some people just keep increasing their units because they want it to become their full-time job, which I do stocks and stuff for that. So I just do it for fun. I just do it for extra beer money, extra wine money, that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you guys found this interesting, liked it, then give it a like, give us a follow. We have a podcast about stocks too. It's super interesting. We do fun stuff. We talk half about stocks, half about lifestyle stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck with your bets on Saturday, and enjoy the fights.